For more Magic the Gathering resources, check out my friends at paperchampion.net and Kitchen Table MTG. Okay, so what I've done here is collected a number of blue cards that I think might be good to go into the cube. I think that these ones are kind of the more interesting ones, but keep in mind I also need a good mixture of creatures and also spells. It doesn't have to be 50-50, but, it could go either way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the cards and then talk about the ones that I think might have like a little more interest or something about them. And then I'll post them into the cube at Cube Tutor, and hopefully you guys can take a look at it. Let me know what you think, leave any comments, and, say this is a great card, this is a bad card, or suggest a new card that's not here. Anyways, let's get to it. So we have Unsummon. Okay, Thrumming Bird. I think Thrumming Bird could be particularly strong, especially because we have a counters theme. Fairy Machinist, or Fairy Mechanist. Okay, Curious Homunculus. I think this one's an interesting one, mainly because it can flip. Right, Geist of the Archives. Okay, Daring Sleuth. Reckless Scholar. Stitched Mangler. Stitchwing Scab. Okay, Parapet Watcher. Now, Parapet Watcher is an interesting one, mainly because he can be pumped multiple times and might be difficult to kill, especially later in the game. Okay, let's see here. Civilized Scholar. Okay, Augur of Bolus. I think Augur of Bolus is actually pretty strong. Basically, you can loot for a card, or not loot for, you can just basically get another card off of it. Invisible Stalker, 1/1 hexproof unblockable is going to be pretty sweet. Okay, Latchkey Fairy I'm not too sure about, mainly because we're not really playing, Prowl is kind of an interesting one, but I don't know, it could be okay. Miro Witsnipper. Sage Road Denizen is actually pretty strong as well. How to Spy Patrol. Manic Scribe. Now, Manic Scribe is kind of weird, but if you can get Delirium online, it's actually pretty good because, like, milling your opponent for each of your opponents for 3 at the beginning of all their upkeeps is actually pretty devastating. So, Archaeomancer, great one for card recursion. Gearseeker Serpent's pretty nice, especially because we were running an artifact theme as well. Weldfast Wingsmith. Glintnest Crane is actually pretty good. I think that one's almost a must include. Ingenious Scab. Experimental Aviator. Treasure Mage. Now, Treasure Mage is pretty nice, but I don't know if it belongs here. Mainly because we don't have artifacts that are 6 mana or greater, or we don't have many of them. Or, like, there's not that many really good ones that are huge like that are not, that are not rare or mythic. So I think this might be one that comes out. Muldrifter is almost a must include. It's probably one of the best cards in blue. Control Magic is, I think, another very strong card. Counterspell, another very strong one. Think Twice, it's pretty good because it's an instant and you can cast it on your opponent's turn, and you can also flash it back as well as a nice 2-for-1 card. Shriekgeist. Seagate Oracle. Okay. Mistblade Shinobi, kind of it goes along with Ninja of the Deep Hours. It's kind of a neat one with ninjutsu. Okay, and allows you to return a target creature to hand if you do damage. Looter Ilkor is pretty much a must play as well. It's just very, very good. Ninja of the Deep Hours, again another good one where it allows you to draw a card. So just different ninjas. Delver of Secrets, a lot of people say that this isn't so good in Cube, but I don't really see why. I think it might be a decent one to have in there, especially if you can flip them. It's pretty sweet. Serum Visions might be just okay, but Scrying 2 is very strong. Like being able to get the next 2 cards in your basically being able to get the next 2 cards to be whatever you want is pretty good. Peregrine Drake. Banned recently in Pauper, but pretty good. I tried to get Cloud of Fairies, but I don't have any and couldn't find any. Echoing Truth could be pretty devastating, especially in a token strategy or against a token strategy. Compulsive Research, Brainstorm, Shrewd Negotiation. Okay, Disperse. So now we're getting into more of just the counters. Ceremonious Rejection, Revolutionary Rebuff. Glimmer of Genius. I really like Glimmer of Genius, not so much for the energy, since we're not really playing energy, but being able to scry first and then draw is actually pretty powerful. Failed Inspection, Mana Leak, your classic, Memory Lapse, Dramatic Reversal, okay, Pungify. Alright, this can actually kind of help, you know, because if your opponent actually has a really weak creature, you could just destroy it and give them a strong creature if you're helping that opponent, or you could also destroy a strong creature and make it into a weak creature. Dissolve, Cancel, Peek. Retreat to Coral Helm's actually kind of an interesting one as well. Remember what I've noticed is that in these types of cubes, or these types of matches, the games tend to go longer just because the power level's lower and because you're dispersing damage all around. So having basically a landfall ability is going to be pretty nice, where you can scry and untap or tap every turn. It's pretty powerful. And especially if we put like some fetch lands, like if you put like Evolving Wilds or something in, that means that you could activate this on your opponent's turn, and you could basically tap a target, like one of your opponent's creatures, like at a critical time, and give you some, you know, leverage on the board. I think I already had Brainstorm in there, so I'm probably have to take this one out. Thought Scour. Spreading Seas, I think it's not. I don't think it's a very good card to have in here. Changing, like disrupting one person's land is powerful, but when you're fighting 3 others, I don't know how powerful it's going to be. Drawing a card is nice. I'm not sure what to think of Spreading Seas. Dispel, Arcane Denial. Okay, so I think Arcane Denial is actually pretty nice too. Because when your opponent draws 2 cards, they're not actually they might not use those cards against you. So, okay, draw a card for each tapped creature target opponent controls. So that could be huge, especially in a token strategy. Treasure Cruise. Okay, we talked about Graveyard. Ordeal of Thassa. So again, this is going to go along with our counters. Syncopate. Okay, grab 2 there. Cancel. Okay, so just another basic counter. And Disperse. I may have had Negate already, and Contingency Plan. I really like Contingency Plan, mainly because like basically putting like basically Scry 5 is, you know, pretty good. And so, anyways, those are the cards I have for blue. I will list them in Cube Tutor. Let me know what you think, and anyways, I'll see you next time.